Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Wisdom Save podcast. As always, I am Ken.
I'm Hannah.
And this week, well, I guess we'll just jump right into it.
We're on Ken's topic.
Yeah, we're on one of my topics. I hope you enjoyed last week's topic. It's kind of a little experiment that we have been doing, and we hope to do more content like that in the future. But this week, we're going to go something like that I've been kind of like. This is a topic I've kind of had in the back pocket for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I think is like short, sweet, and easy. This is like a digestible episode. If us trying out some of these new things and like doing some interesting new ideas and trying to like get a little weird or creative with the podcast is like the main course. So this is like a slice of pie.
It's a palate cleanser.
It's a palate cleanser. Yeah, palate cleanser is probably a better way to put it than my weird pie metaphor. So I did hint last week through a combination of both the episode description and in our conversation at the end that this one would have a Pokemon theme.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about Pokemon on this podcast a few times, for the most part as its own individual topic, episode by episode, but occasionally we go into tangents a little bit about Pokemon. Both of us have been huge fans of the Pokemon series, basically for as long as I can remember, at least for me.
I mean, pretty much same. At least since I was in kindergarten or first grade.
Right. Well, because what was your first game was? I mean, I know, but
me and Brandon shared Yellow together.
Pokemon. Oh, that's right. That's right. I always assume that it was Ruby and Sapphire.
That was my favorite game. That was the game where because when me and Brandon shared Yellow, we just we would delete each other's games.
Oh, okay.
Because we were fucking 6 or 5.
Yeah. You were babies.
So we would run around and get the Pokemon we liked and go to some towns and fight some people.
Yeah.
And then it'd be I would clear his game and make a new person and do the same thing, and then he'd delete mine and do the same thing. I don't know if he ever had the cognitive mind to go through and actually beat it, but I sure as hell didn't.
Right.
The first time I ever was woke enough to really be okay, I'm gonna take this seriously and raise Pokemon and go through the whole thing and make sure I fight all the gyms and get to the end and beat it was with Sapphire.
Oh, I see. So Yellow was you two kind of just throwing stuff at the wall to see if it would stick.
We were just we would just kind of kick rocks, and we were oh, this thing's cute. Oh, we love this.
Yeah, okay.
And we were just doing whatever. People are always talking about honestly, I don't even really know. I know how it ends because of the anime.
Right.
But I've never beat Yellow or Red or Green.
I was kind of that way.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't delete my save file because I didn't need to, because it was only me playing Pokemon Red.
Right.
But the rest of the games, it was kind of a shared experience. By the time Gold came out, Gold and Silver, my middle brother was old enough to actually play the games on his own. He was pretty much where I was at when Red had come out. So at that point, it was kind of just me and Kevin playing the opposite versions of each other as it went through. Nick would occasionally pick up games. He's a year younger than my middle brother was. But he kind of was on and off. He didn't really pick them up that much. But my first foundational experience with Pokemon was playing Red by myself and just figuring it out and learning everything I needed to learn about the game and what the heck I needed to do, from a combination of watching the TV show or asking the older kids who were the children of my dad's work friends and stuff oh, what do you do here? I learned about glitches. I learned about the item duplication glitch where you make missing no happen. I learned about that from an older boy that was friends with like there was one of my dad's friend's sons, and like that was how I like actually got my like there was no way I was beating Pokemon Red by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, oh yeah, you can like make yourself like 100,000 rare candies or something. So he like taught me how to do it, and then I got like this whole team of crazy Pokemon, and that was how I actually beat the game. But I was like 4. Like there was no way I was beating Pokemon Red by myself.
Me and Brandon actually got kind of lucky in that aspect where there was 2 of us and none of our other like siblings were interested in games.
Sure, okay.
And I guess you wouldn't really be like, wow, that's lucky, but it's me and him would buy the opposite versions of Pokemon for like almost its entire run. We had yellow and we shared that together when we were like 5.
Right.
Or 6. And then afterwards I don't know if we got the ones because I can never remember exactly the order they came out in, mind my ignorance.
I know it now, but when I was a kid, it was a blur to me as well. Yeah.
Well, I just only remember Sapphire and Ruby after that.
Yeah. Because Gold and Silver and Crystal.
I remember Brandon having Gold.
Right.
I didn't have Silver, but I think it was because our parents were still in the mindset of like, oh, he likes the games and he wants to play them, but like they didn't really think I did.
Okay.
But when I would take his Gold, then they're like, okay, well, we'll start buying them together. And so I would normally pick the one I wanted. And then Brandon would get the other one. Like I wanted Sapphire, so he got Ruby. And then
okay.
like I wanted X, so he got Y.
So in general, like you tended to care more about which version you got.
Because I was always really opinionated about like the aesthetic of the game.
Sure, I feel that. Yeah. I'm kind of the same way.
Or we didn't know anything about like which ones had exclusives. But at that point, it didn't really matter because we knew each of us were getting a version,
right?
And we would trade.
Yeah. Exclusives are what mattered to me.
And we always had. That's why I was saying in the beginning that we were lucky because we always had each version of the game. Each of us would have one, and we could just trade with each other. So exclusives really didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I don't know about him, but at least for me, I didn't have very many friends who played Pokemon.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like some of our friends probably did. I remember one of my younger friends.
Like the biggest thing in my school.
Well, I didn't care about anybody else in my school.
Okay, fair.
I'm talking about like the kids in our town most of the time. When I'm talking about the kids that we hung out with. There was one other girl that I hung out with that did, but she didn't play until I think it was Sapphire and Ruby, or maybe the one afterward. And we played together a little bit. But we didn't like trade or do anything crazy. We would just like lay next to each other and play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
just hanging out playing Pokemon.
Oh yeah. But that's when I got really serious about it was with Sapphire.
Yeah, I think for me like I was definitely like into it. Like once I like played enough of Pokemon Red, I was like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. Like I just knew as a kid, I'm like, this is like something about this it fires on all cylinders in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like the collection and the weird like hyper strategic version of rock paper scissors aspect of like the typing and stuff, and the collection mostly. I was just like, this is it.
Right.
This is everything my tiny ADHD riddled brain wants.
I was gonna say I haven't missed one yet. Like I've played all the games since.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Brandon fell off. I think it was after X and Y.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who've done similar to that. It was Generation 5 or Generation 6.
Yeah.
Like Black and White or X and Y.
Oh, it might have been Black and White.
Yeah,
I don't know if he might have got Y, but I'm not.
A lot of people were like,
I think he got Y and then he didn't want to play, and then he picked back up on Shield.
Hell yeah, okay.
So he has Pokemon Shield. I got Pokemon Sword.
Right.
But also
I also got Shield.
Yes.
Out.
But we also we realized that once we got into our relationship, me and you, that we play Pokemon very differently.
Oh God, we do.
In a lot of different ways, we play Pokemon very differently. Like,
well, like why don't you describe how you play Pokemon, and I'll talk about mine.
Well, Ken plays very like he's the guy you talk to Pokemon, like, about Pokemon. He starts telling you the stats and, like,
big
strategies.
Big numbers guy.
I'm the person
I know
who...
base stat totals. I know learn levels. I know when certain Pokemon know what move at what level. So I know
what all the moves do, what all the abilities
what
do.
do they evolve? What what level do they evolve at? So I know roughly when something should be at this point in the game. It's all up here.
I'm the person that I do this with every single version of it. So let's just take Sword as an example.
Sure.
They were releasing Sword and they came out with all the Pokemon. And we're like, ooh, we should pick out what our teams are going to be. Or whatever. I took all the Pokemon based on their photos. And I picked out which ones I liked the best. And I'm very critical of the designs.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So I picked...
The aesthetic is maybe one of the most important things for you, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
I would say so.
And so I picked, out of the 100 or 150 or so that they had, I picked maybe, 5 or 10. That's not even 10, 5 or 8.
Yeah, you had narrowed it down pretty sharply. And this was just among new Pokemon, ones that were introduced in Generation 8. Yeah.
And those were the ones I wanted.
Sure.
And I don't even think I used all of them because on my team I had 2 of the same Pokemon because I liked it so much.
Yes, you did. They had 2 different forms. It was kind of 2 different Pokemon. Reasonable.
But I'm the kind of person that I fall in love with the team I have.
Mm-hmm.
I nickname all of my Pokemon.
Which I didn't even start doing at all until Generation 6. Mm-hmm. I was like, nicknaming is dumb. Because then I'm going to give my Pokemon weird names and I'm not going to remember what their real names are. Spoiler alert, it's me. I'm not going to forget what the thing is supposed to be called. I'm an encyclopedia of useless fucking knowledge.
Even me, who's a fucking dumbass. I remember what Mightyena is called, and I've nicknamed every Mightyena I've ever owned.
Right. Well,
and I used to breed 50 of them in every game.
You don't focus as much on the minutia of random details. For you, it's about the experience that you're having. Whereas for me, you're very much you're a narrow spectrum. You're you focus in on the things that you appreciate and then you pinpoint it and go down that way. You're like a scalpel. I'm a very broad spectrum. I look at the whole picture and then I'm like, what's over here? What's over here? What's over here? And I just kind of collect everything.
I'm the person who encountered a Mightyena in the beginning of Sapphire.
Sure.
Or Poochyena.
Poochyena.
Decided I liked it so much that I liked it more than most of the other Pokemon in the game.
Right, without having seen most of them yet.
Without having seen any of them yet.
Right, because Poochyena is the first Pokemon you encounter that isn't your starter.
Yeah, the Rattata of the game. Decided Correct. I liked it so much that I raised it to level 100 and just used it in every single gym. It didn't matter what type it was. I just crashed it on...
Fighting type gym where it's weak, doesn't matter. Just level it up real high.
I just fucking smashed it onto everything and everyone.
Pick up the Poochyena by the back legs and just start hammering stuff. Just done.
And then I'm done with the game and I won with my amazing team.
My amazing team of dog and those other motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, I also really liked my Blaziken.
My
Blaziken was the first Pokemon I got to level 100. He was very special.
Oh, interesting that it wasn't Mightyena that was your first one.
Well, because...
Close, I'm assuming.
That was back in the day when I, was like, oh, he's my starter, so, I have to work really hard on it.
Yeah, we talked about this, but you also did the thing where you
I've started getting
just
to a
leveled
point...
your starter.
Yeah. Well, no, that was when I actually cared. I started getting to a point where I started hating the starters.
Oh, shit. Okay, interesting.
The way that they were designed, I started hating, and I didn't like any of them.
I don't know how long it took me to experience. You know what? Wasn't really a big fan of the Generation 2 starters.
I loved them.
I understand that's controversial, but I don't hate them.
I liked 1. I liked 2. I liked 3.
Cynical's alright.
I think it was 4. Or if it wasn't 4, it was 5. Where I started getting I'm like, okay, I don't like these anymore.
Generation 4 is the shit.
Is that the one with Piplup, Turtwig, and...
Jim and
I hate that. That was when I started hating it.
And
I picked Piplup, and I kept Piplup because I felt strong-armed into keeping my starter. And ever since then...
But you would have boxed it if you were now.
I leveled it up to its last level that it needed to evolve, and then I boxed it. And I was like, you know what? Okay. Fuck this. Like, if I don't like my starter, I'm not going to use it. And so now I've gotten to a point where I'm like, if I don't like my starter, I'll just box it. Like, I'll take it out and level it up with shit later on if I need it for the Pokédex. But, like, other than that... And I never gave a fuck about the Pokédex until I started...
Oh, I'm the total... I have to complete the Pokédex. If that's my goal.
You're the only reason I've ever, like, really completed the Pokédex.
Right.
It's because, like, that's how you get the shiny charm or whatever.
Well, yeah,
and I was like...
only in recent games. That's not a huge... Like,
cool, that's never worked out for me.
Everything before, like... Pokemon X and Y, like it doesn't really matter if you complete the Pokédex. You get like a certificate in the game where some like little pixelated person is like, "Congratulations, you spent a lot of time on this," and that's really it. It's all you get.
But that's the thing. I never cared about type weaknesses. Like I knew them, like the bare minimum of them.
Oh, I got it all up here, baby.
Like I knew not to use a fire Pokemon against a water Pokemon.
Sure.
Like, but. Other than that, like, anything again, like, other than the base, like, rock, paper, scissors of the game.
Sure.
Like, where you get to the Yoda gun Spock portion of, like, rock, paper, scissors, I didn't care.
Yeah, the weird shit.
And I would just, like, I'd be like, okay, cool, is this thing, like, really fucking hurting me?
Like, the corner case of, like, electric types are only weak to ground unless they have levitate or are also flying types.
See, all of that's garbage.
Yeah.
So I would just pick whatever Pokemon I liked the most, figure out if it had an attack that would, like, really hurt it, and if it did, I'd use that as many times as I could until it died. Or, if it was really hurting me, then I would just switch and hope that that was better.
And the earlier games were, like, kind of, you didn't really... You weren't kind of strong-armed into learning the basics of the type chart as much as in, like, newer games. Where in newer games, if you're up against a Pokemon you've seen in the Pokedex, you'll actually see, like, you hover over a move and it'll say, like, not very effective or effective.
Yeah, or effective.
Yeah, like, in every game before, I think, again, before... No, this was probably Sun and Moon was the first game that did that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, where, like, you didn't really need to know. You're just like, I'm just going to see what hits the hardest, and then I'll just use that over.
It was just a guessing game for me.
Whereas now it actually is like, hey, by the way, you should probably find out that grass types are weak to fire.
Right. Well, no, I knew that.
Well, I know you... I'm using an extreme example, but...
But, yeah, so I was just blundering around with my fucking, like, mace with a Poochyena strap to it. That was how I played.
Yeah, I mean, I dig it.
It's still kind of how I play, but now that I...
Yeah. It's honestly, like, it's been kind of fascinating. Because, like, that's the thing, is that, like, my brother and I used to play the games together, but for the most part, my brother, like, when he started playing Pokemon Silver, when I got Gold and he got Silver, I was 7, so he was 4. Like... The way he learned how to play Pokemon was just basically copying me. Because he was 4.
Yeah.
He had nothing else to go off of. So, like, he usually would just, like, he'd ask me for help, and then he'd be like, oh, okay, I get that, and then he'd figure it out. So he pretty much learned how to play like I do. We have a very similar mind when it comes to how to approach Pokemon games. So watching you... like, actually sitting side by side and playing a Pokemon game with a person who is on a completely different, like, wavelength from me has been really interesting. Well, because there are some things that you do and you're just like, it's fine. And you just, like, skip over it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how can you possibly ignore that's a super crucial element? And then you're just fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right, I guess, okay. I guess you just can get through it and be all right. Like,
yeah.
I'm always worried. I'm just like, oh my God, like if I guess this type combination wrong, like my Pokemon will faint and then it'll cause this like snowball effect and I'm going to lose this fight. And you're just like, oh, my guy fainted. I'll just bring my dude back. I'll just pop a revive and we'll get back in there. And I'm like, oh, I guess you could do that. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. You don't have to like meticulously plan out the whole battle ahead of time. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Like I use my gut for it. So I'm like, okay, inevitably this guy's going to faint. So I'll just like let him. And then like
I'll figure it out.
And then I'll take steps to make it work. And you're sitting there like, oh God, but in the 7th level in the future, And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, turn the game off. Like,
yeah, well, that's the thing is I'll be sitting there and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, here I am, the third gym, and I'm like, I'm training up this guy, but like, it really kind of stops learning moves that are good at like level 42, and I'm gonna be about 48 when I hit like the 7th gym, so like maybe I should switch it out for something else that's like a little weaker now, but like it'll get there later on, it'll be really useful against that gym, and you're just like, I really like dog. So I put dog on my team, and then I use dog. And if dog doesn't do very good in fights, I level up dog 10 times, and now dog is good in fights.
Right.
I love that.
The thing is, there's really no dog is bad in fights step to that, because I also I grind a lot.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. You spend so much time power leveling your Pokemon.
I don't let my Pokemon be under leveled. Is the thing.
Sure.
If I'm not one-shotting things, I'm not playing the game.
Yeah, you're just like, oops, not strong enough. Gotta go back and
gotta go grind more.
Hit my nose to the grindstone, so to speak.
So normally,
singularly responsible for diminishing the population of Rattata in the world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just chomping them into kibble.
Like I'll keep in mind what level the trainers around me are, and I'll make sure that I'm like 10 levels above them.
Bless your heart.
And as long as some people in my group are about 10 levels above them, there's going to be no problem when I get to the gym.
Yeah, and that's evidenced by the fact that like our Hall of Fame teams for Sword and Shield, like my entire team was like those like mid to high 60s cresting. Maybe I had a level 70 Pokemon on my team. I think I was like all like 66 to 68 when I beat the Elite Four.
Yeah.
And you had like a couple of 68s that you had just added to the team, and you're like, yeah, they're good enough. And then you had like 2 Toxtricities at level 81 and a level 80 Lucario and like
and a level 100 something else.
Yeah, no, I don't think you beat the I don't think you beat Leon with level 100 Pokemon, but everything was in like mid.
Something was close.
Everything was mid 80s. Yeah. Oh, you had Zacian and you had Sword Dog. You had 85 or something.
I think he was close. I think I got him almost to 90.
Yeah, because you got him and you're like, he's cool. I like him. And
he's a dog.
Yeah. He's a dog with a sword. That's pretty great.
But also the weird thing too is because you're saying your brother plays the same way you do, is that Brandon he plays nothing like I do. Well, I guess not.
Oh nothing. Yeah, I don't think. Well, because the difference is that like I think that like you two were playing it at the same time and you were both figuring it out in your own way. Kevin got into the games because he was watching me play the games and was watching the shows, and I think he like specifically went into it being like, "Hey, like, what am I supposed to do here? Teach me how to do it." So I think he learned directly from me.
I see.
So I think that's I'm not necessarily saying like oh, if you played the games together, you play similarly.
Well, you can, but
you can, but I think specifically like he went to me to ask, and then kind of developed his own thing. But like, I mean, you only heard the two of us like have a real conversation about Pokemon once. When we really get into it, we're all talking like, oh yeah, like that thing's base stat total is nuts. Like that thing's like base 140. Like that thing's crazy with that kind of speed. And he's just like, oh yeah, dude, like it gets Zap Cannon and Lock On. Like that's a sick combo.
Oh my god, I could not care less.
Yeah, I don't know. We get it. Like, and we'll talk about like we'll be like, oh dude, like imagine like what about this type combination? Like if a Pokemon came out that was this and this type, like
well, even like you and Viv. Like,
me and Viv
you and Viv were like, like...
Viv's a little different to me. Viv is like I think a hybrid between the two
little
of
bit.
us. Yeah.
But she's like, what kind of like Pokemon is like your dream Pokemon type that they don't have, that they like you could have them come out with that you'd want? And I was like, girl, I don't even know what they got. Like,
right? Yeah, it's like I don't know. Like, what am I missing?
I'm gonna put 2 types together and you'd be like, ooh, that exists.
Right. So actually, that is a very good segue that I couldn't have asked for a better one if we tried. Because we went on a little bit of a tangent.
Oh, yeah.
A nice little intro to our experiences with Pokemon and our history with it. But the topic of what I wanted to talk about today was actually inspired by me just like scrolling through the internet, and I got suggested this random article about a list of despite the fact that Pokemon has had 8 full-fledged generations, that 2021 is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. This is like at the time that we're recording this and putting this episode out, it's like McDonald's Happy Meals has like Pokemon trading cards to celebrate the 25th anniversary.
That I have right here.
Yeah, you have a box of cards right there. There's like a big live stream that's happening probably in a couple of weeks. It's like going to talk about big announcements, and there's like musical performances. It's a big celebration of Pokemon this year. But despite all of the years that Pokemon has been together, and despite all of the like nearing 1,000 Pokemon that they have created, there is still a reasonably sized list of combinations of Pokemon types that have never once been done. There's, I think, like, when you count, like, things that have only been done, like, as Mega Evolutions or things that have only been done as Legendary Pokemon, there's, like, well over, like, there's, like, 25, 26 different combinations of types that have never actually been done before. So that's kind of the activity that I wanted to do with you today, is using our collective knowledge of all the time we've spent playing Pokemon. We've played every single one of the games. Like we have experience. We've completed our at least Sword and Shield Pokedex. So we've collected hundreds and hundreds of different types of Pokemon, seen, experienced them. What if Pokemon were to make, like, let's say they announce a new generation tomorrow.
Okay.
If these type combinations that haven't been done before were in the game, what do you think they'd be like? It's like a thought exercise.
I don't know what they would be like, but I remember the one thing that I came up, literally, you guys like were spitting off millions of things you'd like to see with type combinations.
Yeah. Maybe we'll save it though, because I want to talk about it. We're going to go through each of the type combinations that doesn't exist.
Oh.
And we're going to think, like, what would be a cool Pokemon for this? So maybe
should I not say the one that I was thinking?
Maybe we. No, maybe you should, because I don't know if you necessarily are aware, because I don't remember this conversation off the top of my head, so I don't know if it was a type combination that didn't exist or just a thing you wanted.
Either way.
Say yours. Yeah, that'll be a good intro to it. To explain
the only one that I said, and the only one that I could think of, was that I wanted a third evolution to Mightyena.
Oh, yes.
I wanted a dark ice type direwolf for Mightyena.
Well, yeah, and I think that came off of the fact that, like, we got, so for those of you who aren't necessarily familiar with like some of the things that Pokemon has been doing, ever since the last 2 generations, Sun and Moon's Generation 7 and Sword and Shield's Generation 8, they've been introducing the idea of, like, regional forms, which we both know full well, but they're Pokemon that, like, already existed, but in a different region of the world, they develop some sort of strange adaptation that causes them to have different colorations, different elements to their design. They look different, they act differently, and sometimes they have different typings, and sometimes straight up completely different evolutionary paths.
Right, like, so it's not like it's for a very, like, wonky kind of example, it's like the Arctic fox. Like, the fox exists.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, it lives in, like, tundra, like, kind of, or not tundra, I was thinking of foresty type, like, areas. But there are fox that live in tundras that
and they're Arctic foxes.
Yeah, they're Arctic foxes, and they're white, and they have thicker fur, and they have an adaptation that they can live in a different environment, but they're the same creature.
Yeah, and that's basically the difference between Vulpix, which is a fire-type Pokemon that has been around since Generation 1, and Alolan Vulpix, which is the Vulpix that lives in the cold mountains of the Alola region, which is ice-type instead of fire-type, white coat instead of red or reddish-orange coat. Exactly the same kind of thing. And this, I think, was inspired by the fact that, A, you really like Mightyena in general. It's like probably your favorite Pokemon. And Mightyena's counterpart, Zigzagoon,
got one of these evolutions.
Surprise out of nowhere, became this black and white, like, Kiss Rocker, like dark and normal type, and ended up getting a third evolution in Obstagoon. So why wouldn't Mightyena, who's got similar stat breakdown to a Pokemon like Linoon, could easily get a third evolution where it adapts to a cold climate, becomes this big dire wolf or winter wolf type creature, pretty common in a lot of mythologies. And I could see a number of different potential settings. Like imagine like a setting that takes place in like Scandinavian countries, like a Scandinavian Pokemon game where it's like cold, icy mountains where dire wolves are a part of their mythology and culture. Mightyena would be a great Pokemon for a region like that.
Yeah.
Especially an ice type version. I'm glad we got that one over with first, though, because there actually does already exist a Dark and Ice type Pokemon.
I figured there were probably Dark Ice types.
I think it's just Sneasel and Weavile, like the Sneasel evolutionary line.
We could use more of them.
Of course, there's only one. Why not do something a little different, you know? Especially if it was like this big, like Sneasel's like hits fast and hard, but then like dies to a stiff breeze in the wind. So like Mightyena, or Mightyena's theoretical evolution is like this big bruisery, like tanky dark ice type. I think could be a really, really interesting combination.
That was literally the only one I could think of.
That's a cool one, though. I would love to see them. And could you imagine it's bigger and it has like this like menacing kind of stylation to it. It's kind of like large and like arced up and hunched over, like its mane trails back, and there's like these like icicles or frost that's like drifting off of it.
The only thing I could ask of them is keep it on 4 legs.
Oh well, yeah, because Linoon became 2-legged with Obstacle.
They do that with everything.
That's a good point, yeah.
Everything that is on 4 legs,
touchy.
They put on 2 legs.
And ruin it.
And it fucking drives me insane.
Looking at you, Incineroar.
Everything. All of it. It drives me fucking nuts. If it's on 4 legs, please stop turning it into a man. Why do all the animals need to become men?
Why is my pet now a boy?
Please stop.
It's just a long, gangly boy.
And B,
I mean, it was maybe it was a boy, but it's now it's like a human boy.
Yeah, please fucking stop. and B, please just take my idea. Don't pay me for it. Just take the idea. I don't
need compensation. I'm not going to sue you for copyright infringement. Nintendo,
I will pay you. Yeah. If you put this in a game, I will pay you money to just have it near me on the TV. Please take my idea.
Nintendo, I want you to steal this. I will be grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
As long as you keep it on fucking 4 legs.
Okay, so... all things considered, I have a list. We're going to, at the very least, go through the completely unused types.
Okay.
This is every Pokemon type that has, under no circumstances, ever been a combination that exists in the Pokemon games.
Okay.
After that, there are a couple that only exist as legendaries. We'll talk about what the legendary is, and then say what can we do if it was just like a regular Pokemon you'd find in the wild. And then there are 2, last but not least, that are only used by Mega Evolutions, which haven't been in the game for a full generation at this point.
Sometimes I hate Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, the thing is, I enjoyed them when they were the gimmick, but it's kind of everything needed to be Mega Evolved. It was they were so strong that it's it almost felt like you needed to have one on your team, and I always thought that was kind of annoying and limiting.
I never used it. I did it sometimes. Did, yeah. But it was just so obnoxious.
There are a lot of Pokemon that Mega Evolve that also have a Pokemon that I like.
Right.
So that explained why I probably used it a lot.
But also, it was fine. But also, especially now that they have it in Pokemon Go, and you have to pay things to do it, and you have to keep redoing it and redoing it and redoing it. It's super annoying.
Yeah, that's the thing. You seem to hate the impermanence of it. If you're going to evolve a Pokemon, just evolve it. Don't
don't
make it a temporary thing. Yeah, I can understand that.
It's stupid.
Anyway, so let's get on our topic. So this episode doesn't go too terribly long.
Right.
We do love our tangents though here at the Wisdom Safe podcast. So the first list, this is going in like order of typings, and it picked the type first, and then it's going to go through everything that type isn't combined with.
Okay.
So the first run is going to be just a bunch of normal type combos.
Okay.
They've never existed. The first one is normal ice.
Okay.
There has never been a normal and ice type Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
What does a normal ice type Pokemon look like? Or I guess more importantly, this is probably the most important question about it. What does a normal anything look like? Like
this is gonna be the hardest one. I think normal. Just because it's like normal is just normal.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like looking at other normal type Pokemon that have bad combinations, like just got added into Pokemon Go a little while ago. Pyroar and Litleo is a normal fire type, and it's basically just like it's a lion that happens to do fire stuff.
Okay.
Or what's another like a normal Deerling and Sawsbuck. They're normal grass types. It's a deer that just happens to have horns that grow plants on it and stuff. Like, to me, it seems like when a Pokemon, and this is not a universal thing because designs are varied with Pokemon, but in general, I find that a normal type Pokemon, like, is just kind of a generic, like, this is an animal. And then the type that gets added to it is like, this is the animal. And then also it has a little bit of this power.
Okay.
That's kind of the sense that I get for normal types. So, like, a normal ice type isn't going to be like, oh, it's a normal ice type like Snowflake, or like a normal ice type like Yeti.
Snow cone?
Or like Vanillish is an ice type because it's literally like its body's comprised of ice. A normal ice type would be like, I'm an animal and I happen to have ice powers. Or like I happen to like live in the cold.
See, now the only thing I'm thinking about is wintertime Sawsbuck.
Well, that's the thing is that like wintertime winter. Actually, you know what? Wintertime Sawsbuck would probably make a pretty decent normal ice type Pokemon. Like, what if they had made it so that like each of the different forms of Deerling had changed types? Like maybe springtime is normal grass, but like summertime is like normal fire.
Yeah.
Or like, and then like wintertime is like normal ice. Like that. I think that would have been a pretty good way to do it.
But for new types, or like new Pokemon that could be normal ice type?
Yeah, like what's an idea you have for like a normal ice type? I haven't thought about this ahead of time, so I don't have like an answer. We're just like brainstorming.
Well, see, now I'm just thinking about Spheal. Is it just normal, or is it water?
No, Spheal's actually ice water.
Why isn't it? It's a seal.
Because seals like are semi-aquatic, right?
Yeah, they're water people.
Yeah. They don't like live underwater,
they're water dogs.
But they're they're basically. But that's the thing is that like it's a water dog that has thick blubber and lives in a cold climate. So their thought process is like it's a creature that lives in water, but cold water. So it's ice water type. I mean, not to assume what Nintendo's logic behind designing that Pokemon is. It's just that's how I assume they logic.
What else lives in a cold climate?
Wolves.
Well, yeah, they could come out with a normal ice type wolf.
Yeah, or like even something like as much as like
a polar bear, but they already have a polar bear.
They do already have a polar bear. Like I feel like Beartic should have been a normal ice type. Like Beartic is basically just a bear that has icicles for a beard. That's kind of, but that's kind of the thing about it too, is that like normal types are odd in the sense that like it kind of is just like this thing is extra. Also, here's another thing we can do too. For Pokemon that we're like kind of stumped on.
Like Ice Bunny? I don't know.
Like an Ice Bunny? Oh, that actually wouldn't be bad. The other thing, the thing about normal ice type as a combination is that I feel like it's not a Pokemon that would be considered particularly like quote good. Like it wouldn't be like the Dragonite or Garchomp of a game, because normal is weak to fighting ice is weak to a lot of things, but it's also weak to fighting. So, like, one punch would break this thing into 1,000,000 pieces.
So probably a bunny.
So, yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, I feel like this would be, like, a normal ice type Pokemon would be, like, one that's really early on. It'd either be, like...
It'd be like the Ratatab, this...
Yeah, it'd be something that, like, it's not meant to be this particularly strong thing. Oh, yeah, apologies if you can hear the ferrets drinking in the background. We are in our room for this episode and not in our fancy studio.
Because I got tired during the last episode of our podcast because I think I said that at the end of our old podcast that I was tired.
So you might have, yeah.
We went home and we slept, and now we're recording at home.
Yes. So.
But that's like that. Those are the only like tundra-esque creatures, unless they're going
bunny to, or like we can do an Arctic fox that's specifically not like an Arctic fox, but more in the style of like Feeble and Nicket, the little foxes that showed up in this generation, like something that's a little bit more like traditional fox in design than like Vulpix, which is a little bit more of like a I guess like a Japanese mythology style fox.
Unless they do something kind of like a snow leopard.
Oh, a snow leopard would be cool.
They could even put it on the evolutionary line of Meowth, since they seem to want to give it so many.
Oh, like make it like a fourth different version of Meowth, like
yeah,
a whatever
like
the generation 9 region. Yeah, I also was wondering what if they did that for like Litleo. Like do like a snow leopard.
Oh, that could be even.
Yeah, because that's already a normal fire type, so just do a normal ice version of it in the line of.
I think I like that better.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then like a big like.
It could just have like icicles for a mane instead.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
Kind
cool.
of give it the sand shrew.
Sand shrew similar. Yeah, where it goes from being like a literal sand shrew, I guess, to being like a little igloo monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think that'd be a cool way to do it. The next normal type one, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 normal type.
Oh god, this is gonna kill me.
We could jump away from normal and go to other types at any point in time if you want to.
That's fine.
Just go through it. All right. The next one's normal poison.
Quite like snakes.
There's never been a normal. Yeah, that's the obvious one. I'm thinking snakes too.
You know what I'd love to see?
What?
A dart frog.
A normal poison? Oh, like a poison dart frog? Like it's because that it would literally be like, I'm a frog who happens to be venomous.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know venom isn't poison, but like.
Well, I think like poison is what. It's
also, it is poisonous. If I eat you and I die, you're poisonous.
You're poisonous. If you bite me, it's so it wouldn't be venomous. It would be poisonous then.
Yeah, it's poisonous. If I eat you and I die, you're poisonous. If you bite me and I die, you're venomous.
Because that's the thing. It's not even something like it wouldn't even necessarily use poison to attack. It just like if you attack me, that would actually be a cool one. They'd be like a normal poison, like poison dart frog, and like
they could even do 2 different ones. One that's venomous and one that's poisonous.
Oh, they could, yeah. Absolutely.
That could be its stupid little ability feature where it's like if you do damage to it.
Yeah, like one has one has poison touch. I think Alolan Muck has this, where it has 2 different abilities, and one is poison touch, and there's like Hand of Alchemy or something, and one of them is if I touch you, I have a chance to poison you. The other one's if you hit me, I have a chance to poison you. So it'd be like a poison dart frog where it's 2 different like kinds, and they have the different ability based on what kind it is. Maybe they have their patterns and stuff on then, make it a little bit more collectible. Yeah, that's a fun one. I like that.
That would be a good way to teach people about poison dart frogs and about the difference between being poisonous and venomous.
Look at that. You get a little National Geographic lesson out of it, too. That's pretty cool. All right, I dig that. That's a way better idea than I could have come up with. I was just thinking, like, what if it's like a snake?
Well, that was my first go-to. Yeah. Also,
but like Ekans is also a snake, and it's not a normal type, so...
It's so weird.
Yeah. It actually, normal poison would be pretty decent, because I'm pretty sure poison resists fighting. So, like, it's basically the same as a poison type, but it doesn't have any of normal's weaknesses, but is also, like, immune to ghost. So I feel like it's kind of just a slightly better version of poison type. But that's more of a mechanical thing. The next one is normal and bug. There have never been a normal bug type.
A normal bug?
Yeah, 2 of the most, like, the
just be a worm.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, it should just be a worm, but, like, Weedle's a worm, and it's a bug type. It's bug poison.
Well, I mean, like, an earthworm.
Oh, just like straight up like crawling in the dirt.
Because technically, if Weedle's like the first thing for a bee, he's like a maggot.
Yeah, Weedle's like a maggot with a stabby horn. Yeah, basically.
Which is gross to think about, but yeah, I'm talking about like an earthworm Pokemon.
Just like crawls through the dirt. Why wouldn't an earthworm be like ground type?
I mean, I guess it could.
Yeah, but like also like just because it comes out in the like that's the thing, is it like
which one's weak to water types out of earth or ground?
Out of rock or ground, they are both weak to water. Oh. That's the thing, they're both weak to water. Don't they like absorb water?
Well, the thing about earthworms is when it rains, they like rise to the surface. Yeah. And then if they aren't in the dirt to go back in once the water's all evaporated, they dry up and die.
I see. You know what? No, then I think normal bug would work pretty well for like a simple earthworm, and then like it could evolve into something bigger and maybe change the normal type. Mm. I don't see that being a thing that really sticks around for long, but it could have like that. What's that ability called? It's like called like solar power or whatever. Uh-huh. Or like a version of it, because like there's an ability where like it makes you stronger when the sun is out, but you take damage every turn.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so it'd be something like that, like where like the sun is out and it's like, yeah, my moves are stronger, but it like slowly dries up.
I mean, that could be good that could be better for ground or earth type or whatever, not earth, ground or rock types, but.
Yeah, but I still feel like I feel like earthworm is like the closest thing you're gonna get in terms of like a normal bug.
It's just the most generic.
It's just it's the most simple kind of bug.
Other than like an ant.
Yeah, because like it's not like that's the thing, is that most of the bugs are like they're bug poison because they have a poisonous element to them. Like earthworms aren't toxic in any way.
They're just worms.
Yeah, it's just like I am a bug, which I mean I guess you could make the argument that it's just a bug type, but like if they're gonna make a normal bug type, that's probably the best way to do it.
That's what I would thought.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay, the next one, normal and rock. There's never been a normal rock type.
Normal rock?
Mm-hmm. What the hell is that?
I don't know. Well, because
all the rock types are weird too. Like they're kind of just I'm an animal, but I'm made out of rocks. Like Rhyhorn is just I'm a rhino, but rocks. Geodude is I'm literally just a rock.
I'm a boulder.
I'm a boy, but a rock.
That's a nice boulder.
That's a nice boulder.
Yeah. Normal rocks.
Right. Yeah. Like what the hell? Is there like an existing rock type that you're like, damn, that could? Oh, you know what? You know what should have been a normal rock type? Rockruff.
Oh yeah, that could have made sense.
Because it's just a rock type, and it's like,
but it's a dog.
It's a dog. Like it's not even really a rock. It's just a dog. Like it's a dog that happens to like be able to manipulate Earth in some fashion, but it's just a dog. So, like, why isn't it a normal rock type?
I couldn't tell you. But that's probably
lichen rock, yeah.
They probably should have been normal rock.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because they didn't want to make it like super duper weak because like both of them are weak to fighting. So again, the same thing as normal ice, where like someone punches you slightly too hard and you explode into 1,000 pieces.
Maybe you should pick like the weakest mineral to be.
Like chalk. Yeah. Pokemon made entirely out of like graphite.
God, or like not quartz. I was trying to think of
mica.
Mica.
Yeah, it's just
like like a butterfly made of mica, but that could have been like rock bug. That's
yeah, it could have been a rock bug type. Yeah, it'd be like a little animal made out of a very crumbly rock. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have very good defense, but maybe it's fast, or like it has good special attack or something, because it's like this magical like gemstone-y rock. I could see it. I don't have a lot of great ideas for normal rock. I'm not gonna lie. As I've been looking at this list, I've been kind of staring at it and being like, "What the fuck do we do for that when that one comes up?" I don't have a lot.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess makes sense why Pokemon hasn't they pretty much dropped the ball with Rockruff. They could have done it there, and now it's like, well, now what? You can't do a dog that uses rocks anymore because you already did that. So it's like you're just kind of fucked. Yeah, I don't know if that. I feel like that's going to be one of the latest ones to come out, but we may be surprised.
I want the Micah Pokemon.
That'd be cool.
The normal rock.
That'd be pretty cool. Like a Micah, just like a Micah cat or something.
Yeah.
Or like a Micah, like a dinosaur, like a little raptor made out of mica or something.
Just something really small made out of mica.
Yeah. Could be interesting. This next one, I have had an idea about forever.
Okay.
And I love it. Normal ghost.
A normal ghost?
A normal
just a man.
Ghost type. It's just a dead
Just
person.
a dead guy.
Just a dead guy. So here's the thing. This idea, like this one, I'm really proud of because I've been kicking this one. First of all, from a mechanical perspective, because I love this, and me and my brother have actually had an extended 1.5 hour long conversation about this particular typing and why it's the absolute fucking best thing possible. Okay. Normal ghost. Stupid good. The reason why Pokemon hasn't made it is probably because that Pokemon would be way too fucking strong, and it would like a competitive Pokemon would be blown out of the water. Like nuts. Absolutely stupid typing. Normal Pokemon, on account of the fact that they are normal, they are immune to ghost. Uh-huh. That's how that works. Yeah. Ghost types are weak to ghosts. So a normal ghost Pokemon doesn't take any damage from ghosts, even though they'd be weak to it. What's normal's only weakness? Ghost. Fighting. Fighting? Because normal's immune to ghost. Oh, but ghost fighting passes right through it, as does normal. So it is a ghost. It is a normal ghost type Pokemon is immune to normal, immune to fighting, which it would otherwise be weak to, and immune to ghost, which it would otherwise be weak to. Its only weakness is dark. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's weak to nothing else. It is immune to 3 types and only weak to dark. The only thing I'm hearing is that I can still kill it. Well, yeah, because you use like most of your favorite Pokemon are dark types. Yes, you could. My point is, it's so fucking good. It's like if you're not packing a dark type, this thing is ridiculous. But what is a normal ghost? What the hell does that mean? How can you be both normal and supernatural? I'm telling you, dead guy. Do it, Pokemon. Here's my theory. And we're going into variant forms for this one. Okay. Think about, and I'm going to spoil the game, but go with me here. Think about Mimikyu. Why does Mimikyu dress up as a Pikachu? Because it wants to be cute. Because it wants to be cute. And because it knows that in the Alola region, where it's native to, and I guess also in the Galar region, where Mimikyu appears and also is wearing a Pikachu costume. Mm-hmm. It does it because Mimikyu knows that everyone in that region loves Pikachu. Pikachu's the mascot. They're obsessed with Pikachu. And they wear the Pikachu costume not because they're obsessed with Pikachu, but because they know everyone else is. Mm-hmm. So what about a Mimikyu that lives in a region where people aren't obsessed with Pikachu, but they're obsessed with Eevee? Oh yeah, Eevee Mimikyu. A Mimikyu in an Eevee costume that is normal ghost type because of the Eevee part, and not ghost fairy. Because I don't know, the fairy is the cutesy element of Pikachu. It doesn't actually gain any electrical powers from wearing a Pikachu costume. It just becomes cute, and a lot of cute things are classified as fairy types. Mm-hmm. An Eevee costume Mimikyu, a variant Mimikyu, would be so good. So good. I would love that. It would be adorable. It would be a little bit creepy, but like in the best ways. I need it. I want it yesterday. This is like on the level of like Mighty and Direwolf Ice Pokemon for you. I need this. I need Pokemon Company to be listening to our random Rinky Dink podcast on YouTube and just being like, oh my god, that. But oh, we can't use it because what if we... No. You have Nintendo of America, Nintendo of Japan, Game Freak, Pokemon Company, whatever the fuck. If you hear this, take it. People have drawn that, I'll pay you money. People have drawn that? Oh, yeah. I bet. That's such a cool idea. Yeah, there you go. Oh, my God. Oh, I encourage you all, because I don't know, just based on like editing time, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put... and also because, we're using people's DeviantArt artwork, so I'm not going to put these into the podcast, but please go search like Eevee Mimikyu on Google and look up some of the things, because Hannah is showing me some pictures, and these are fucking adorable.
Yeah, they have
like this is amazing.
They have these on Amazon. They're all the evolutions.
Oh, the evolution?
They're stuffed animals. They're
wow.
They're Eevee and all the evolutions as Mimikyu costumes.
Yeah, 1000%. Please, we have to do this.
$90 and all of them could be yours.
We have to do it. Okay. Anyway, before we talk about Eevee Mimikyu for the rest of my adult life, we have one more normal type combination to get through. The last type that hasn't been comboed with normal is steel. A normal steel type.
Normal steel type?
Normal steel.
It's got to be like a sword.
Oh, interesting. I mean, yeah, because Hone Edge is a sword.
Yeah.
It's a steel ghost type.
But because the sword possessed.
Yeah, so this was just like, it's just a sword.
Yeah, just a sword. Like Boo Boo Keys, but a sword.
Like Boo Boo Keys, like my Klefki. Yeah, but Klefki's like, it's like keys, but cute.
Yeah.
So it's a fairy type.
Yeah.
So this is it's just a sword.
Just a sword.
Is it like a sword like with eyes? Is it like a sword?
Well, I guess it should probably like have an eye or something.
But it's a sword.
Yeah, like it's not a ghost, it's just a sword.
It's like it has to be like a special kind of sword, right? Is it like a big, like a broad sword, or like just a sword?
Just a sword.
Okay.
Normal ass. Sword.
Just like a regular. What if it's like, yeah, you know what? Like,
or just like a piece of sheet metal.
just like a strip of sheet metal.
Yeah, normal.
It's just a hammer. It's a hammer. No, oh my god, you know what's a normal steel? It's Clippy. It's the Microsoft Word guy. Yeah, it's Clippy.
I was gonna say like can opener.
A can opener Pokemon, yeah. Just like it would have to be like a normal steel type would be like a household appliance that happens to be made of metal. Yeah. Like this is my Pokemon Blendy. It's a blender. Yeah. It blends.
Oh no, yeah. This is where they put the Pokemon Gun in.
This is where Gun comes from. Yeah, we have Sword Shield and now Gun version. That's what they're announcing.
That they're coming out with Pokemon Gun.
Fuck the Diamond and Pearl remakes. We're doing Pokemon Gun version, and it's just going to be a gun with googly eyes. Normal steel type, fucking top tier Pokemon. Really weak to fighting, just like everything else. That's great. Like, damn, it's super good. That's it. Okay, so Gun. Googly eye Gun. That's the one. Okay. We've left the realm of normal.
Thank God.
And we're in some like weird. Yeah, normal's just a hard one. Like so much like it's kind of generic Pokemon. Now we're in fire types.
Okay.
There are only 2 combinations of fire types that haven't existed.
Uh-huh.
First one, fire grass.
Fire grass?
Yeah. What would be a fire grass type?
God. Something spicy, like a jalapeno.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. See, here's the thing.
Ghost pepper. But then it'd be a ghost.
Well, no, not necessarily.
What about
California Reaper?
California Reaper.
Yeah, could you imagine like it's just like it's a big like red chili pepper that's like still on the vine, and it's got like a scythe made out of leaves, and it's that'd be cool. Yeah, like an actual like a Carolina Reaper.
Spicy grass.
Yes, a spicy plant. It doesn't get more fire grass than that. I think that's a really good point. And it had like this cool signature move where it's a grass type move. It's like.
Or it could be a grass Pokemon, like almost looking like a dryad, but with like a scythe that looks like a pepper.
That would be cool. Like it's coming out of a tree, and it's like a literal reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it had like a signature move where it's like got like the spicy pepper scythe, and then it's a grass type move, but it has a chance to burn you.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That'd be a great way to, because water already has a move with a chance to burn, Scald. So why not give like there we go, just give every single one of the starter types like fire, water, grass a move with a chance to burn.
Yeah, just make it a pepper bush.
Yeah.
With a scythe.
A pepper bush with a scythe. I kind of dig that. I think that's a really cool idea. That's much better than some of the ones that I used to see on like people would do like Fakemon, like sprite creators in the past, and they'd usually do like it's a pepper Pokemon, but they all kind of looked the same, and they all were vaguely offensive stereotypes.
Oh.
It'd be like I'm a pepper with a sombrero and a poncho.
Oh.
And it's like we're already crossing the line almost with Ludicolo. Like, don't get fucking weird.
The only thing it's not a I don't know why I said the only thing I was thinking of doing, because it's not a racial stereotype. The one thing I was thinking of doing that would make it fun would be like make it like a bunch of like grass and twigs and leaves, so it can hold the scythe with the pepper on it.
Yeah.
But you should like give it like a skirt that looks kind of like a bell pepper and like like make it a pepper dress.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And that's even like a thing, like you add more design onto it, like an evolution. Like you'd have like 2 stages or something. You could do something cool with that. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a really fun way to do that design. Yeah, fire grass type. All right. There we go. The next one is fire fairy.
A fire fairy?
A fire fairy type. There hasn't been a fire fairy Pokemon.
Huh.
Believe it or not.
That's kind of hard to think of.
I mean, like, fairy, like, generally speaking, fairy Pokemon tend to either be, for the most part, a cute version of a thing or an actual fey creature. Well, something that's nature without being grass.
I was thinking that they could try and do like almost like a Calcifer or like an elemental kind of like
thing. Like a fire sprite or something like that. Interesting. Do you think, like, would it have like would Pokemon even get to the point where they do like a really like metaphorical interpretation of nature? Like, would it be like an autumn fey spirit, like having that, or like a summer fey spirit having like a fire nature to it?
I mean, that could be cool, but also that I feel like if they did that, that'd be like its second or third evolution. I feel like for the most part, it'd probably be like almost something like Flame Princess from Adventure Time.
Oh, I actually vaguely get that reference.
It's just a girl made out of fire.
Yeah, right.
But like they should do it where it's like just almost like they did Vanillish.
Oh, where it's just an ice cream cone?
Except instead it should just like be a fire in the shape of a little like wispy thing.
Yeah, like it'd be like a will-o'-the-wisp. Yeah, it could even be like a will-o'-the-wisp, although that'd probably be like a ghost.
Well, I mean, except it wouldn't actually be a will-o'-the-wisp. Like, it should be a little sprite that just looks like a tiny fire. And then when it gets bigger, it turns into, like, a fey creature.
Yeah, like this fey, like, flame spirit.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That is interesting. It does feel a little bit generic.
Well, yeah. Like, no one told me to be, like, super cool and original. You just said come up with a fire fairy type.
Yeah, you're right. Well, the thing is, like, I don't really think I have a better idea than that. That's kind of what I was thinking about, too.
Also, it's hard to tell you exactly what I'm thinking without, like, drawing a picture.
Right. No, I think it's a pretty good design. I think it could, like, go along the way. I think it would have to get a little bit more complicated as it went. I'd like it to be like a 3-stage design. But yeah, I could do something. Or you know what? They could even do, like, if they wanted to go like regional form with it, I could see like a fire version of Impidimp. Like as like a little like a kind of like wild flame sprite. Kind of like how Marowak gets like the bone club that's on fire when it's ghost, but like it'd be like Impidimp, it'd be like hopping around really fast, it'd be like on fire and like flames are spraying off of it. And then as it evolves, it kind of just becomes like this big, like explosive, like flaming creature. It'd be like a fire troll or something. Yeah. That could be cool. Yeah. Yeah, all right, I like that. That was it for the fire types. Now we have the one combination that hasn't been done with electric type.
Okay.
Electric fighting.
An electric fighting type?
It's the only electric thing electric hasn't been paired with.
Huh.
Is fighting. Weirdly enough.
That's strange.
You know who should have been an electric fighting type?
Huh.
Electivire, the evolved form of Electabuzz.
Oh.
Absolutely should have been an electric fighting type. I don't understand why it isn't.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it's like a big dude with giant fists. That's an electric type, just electric. It's like, why though? What if you weren't?
I don't know.
Electric fighting. I also thought it was kind of weird that the new Zapdos in Generation 8 wasn't. It's fighting flying. They replaced the elemental part of the bird's typing with the new one, not the flying part. But literally, Zapdos
doesn't fly.
Yeah, like Galarian Zapdos doesn't fly; it runs.
Yeah,
but it's a fighting flying.
It's an ostrich, so it kicks and stuff.
Yeah, It's a fighting flying type, not an electric fighting type.
That's weird.
Yep, I thought that was weird too. Because and the thing is that like Articuno lives in cold climates, and Moltres is literally made out of jet black flames of darkness. Like that screams ice, psychic, fighting, electric, and dark fire, but they're all flying instead.
That's weird. I don't like that.
That was a good opportunity for
Then again, I didn't pay attention to any of their typings, so
fair enough.
That was lost on me.
Yeah, that's whatever. That's the kind of stuff I pay too much attention to because I'm like, oh, well, how does it work? What are its strengths? What are its weaknesses?
That weird electric cat isn't a fighting type?
Who's Zeraora?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's not. Just electric type.
Oh.
That's it.
Well,
even though he's got big meaty claws.
Well, because when you say electric fighting type, I think of Zeraora or the shiny version of Lucario.
Oh, where it's yellow, but is a warrior. Yeah.
I'd like it if they took, Lucario and gave it another evolution where it could, or a different line, like a Galarian form.
Sure.
Where it could be more electric type, because I'd love it if they made it more like the D&D monk, where it could punch you to try and stun.
Oh, like a punch that paralyzes?
Yeah.
That'd actually be really cool. And that's the thing too, is that you could have it take on more of a speed boxer aspect. Its whole thing is that maybe its stats aren't that good. It doesn't deal a ton of damage, and it's not super strong defensively, but it's ridiculously fast. And so its whole thing is just it has a signature move where it attacks you a bunch of times, and it can attack 2 to 5 times, and each one of them it gets a little bit stronger, and each one of them has a slightly higher chance to stun you, to paralyze you. So its strength is just it hits you a bunch of times, and then maybe you get paralyzed, then it hits you again, and it's not strong, but it overwhelms you with sheer number of attacks.
Right.
And it'd be like a speed boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think an electric fighting Galarian Lucario would be really cool. I like that a lot. Or not Galarian.
But that form of line.
Yeah, we'll use that to refer to the fact that we don't know what Generation 9's region is going to be. So that's fun. I didn't even think about giving electric to Lucario, but that's a really cool way to do that.
Yeah, I'd love that.
That'd be super neat, like a speed boxer. It's speed bagging it.
Because then you could also make it shiny blue.
Oh shit, yeah, and it'd be plasma,
yeah.
Blue, the really weird blue lightning.
Well, that and then the different types of Lucario will switch colors for their shiny.
Hell yeah, that's really dope. I like that a lot. Oh, that'd be so fun. And plus, you'd get Riolu as a little lightning dog.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
You could change so many different things about its design.
Yeah, I already am putting little thunder clouds around its head, or a lightning
all of its straight lines. You could give tiny little triangle zigzaggies to make it more sharp looking.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's already kind of a fast Pokemon. You just adjust some of its stats around to make it fit that speed demon kind of feel.
Yeah.
That's kind of dope. It could even be yellow, for the superhero fans out there. It could even have a little bit a reverse Flash feel to it.
Yeah.
It would instantly be my buddy Jared's favorite Pokemon.
It's easy, fresh, and fun.
That aesthetic. Yeah, I love that. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot. Okay. So that's that. For electric types, now we have a new ice type combination.
Okay.
The only other one besides the normal from above, ice and poison.
Ice and poison
has never been done before. Yep, ice poison type.
See, whenever you bring this up, I try to think of different animals that I can connect that to in nature.
Sure.
There's not too many things in
Yeah, like a Arctic creature that's poisonous.
Yeah.
Is weird.
I might have to take it from the poison side and make it an ice type.
Yeah, take something that is
poisonous.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, it might not be a bad. Traditionally it's stone themed, so it maybe would make more sense as a rock type. But what about a basilisk?
A basilisk?
Yeah, an Arctic basilisk.
Like a big icy snake.
Yeah, or more like a lizard, like a big frozen lizard.
When I think about a basilisk, I think about big snakes.
Oh, you're thinking like Harry Potter basilisk and not D&D basilisk.
Yeah.
Because D&D basilisks are big 8-legged chunky lizard boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking more like a D&D basilisk. Like it'd be a big like quadrupedal.
Or you could even make it like, I guess it fucking stupid anyway. I was gonna say you could make it like a dragon, but it doesn't have to be dragon type because they never make any of their dragons dragon type anyway.
Looking at you, Gyarados and Charizard.
So like, just make it like an ice type dragon that's poisonous, and then don't call it a dragon.
Like a poisonous like frost serpent or something. Some big like icy serpent that lives in the frozen.
You know what I'd like to see? Like a wyvern, like an ice wyvern.
Ooh. Well, because wyverns traditionally had like venomous stinger tails.
Yeah.
Ooh. That'd be fun.
Because then it'd make sense for them not to type it a dragon because it's not a dragon, it's a wyvern.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Yeah, I could see that working out really well for like a Scandinavian kind of setting, or like
come on with the Scandinavian Pokemon.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was the next region. I guess there's like rumors going, and like don't quote me on this because I read the internet a lot too much.
I think I showed this to you.
What?
Where they have that one theory they're coming out with like the Chinese mythological.
Oh yeah. You were showing me.
Unless that's not what you're talking about.
Well, that wasn't what I was thinking about. Like there was a rumor going around that like the next generation of Pokemon might be taking place in a Australian themed region. And it's based on like where like members of Game Freak were doing like design research, like they go to places in the world.
Yeah.
But like there have been rumors about Scandinavia because they've been to Scandinavia before, but they used a lot of those assets for one of the Pokemon movies. So they think it might have been just for the movie, and then they've seen them in like Australia, like before the pandemic and everything. So, and also could be connected to that. There's a lot of different like things, but some people think kind of like maybe a Scandinavia region or maybe an Australia region. Australia might be hard pressed to find ice types, but there's probably a lot of poison types.
Right.
But yeah, so that's that. Next is fighting and ground.
Fighting and ground?
But yeah, we're on fighting types now. There's like a couple of them that haven't been done.
Ground fighting?
Yeah, like a ground fighting type Pokemon, or like a fighting type that it's just Toph from
Avatar.
Airbender. She's a ground fighting type.
I don't know. Like a mole.
Oh, a mole wouldn't be bad. A mole with like boxing gloves that digs by punching the earth so hard.
I guess that, or they could they can even
Pokemon
they can even put it on 2 feet.
Yeah, they can put it on 2 legs. It's ground fighting type Diglett with arms. Diglett just gets out of the ground and it decides it's done with your shit.
That, or it just fights with its claws, its big meaty claws.
Big meaty claws. That actually would be kind of funny, but yeah, I don't really have a lot of it. Like it's like an earth puncher.
Fighting ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fight the earth.
That's the thing is like even more so than the normal types. Like fighting grounds just sounds so generic.
Like just billionaires. Like
billionaire. What are you talking about?
Fight the earth.
Oh, like okay, like global war. Yeah, no, it's just it's just Jeff Bezos.
I was gonna say.
And he's like meditating on top of a factory pumping smog into the earth, and he's fighting ground because because
money.
That would be funny. Do I think Pokemon would ever do that? No.
Should they?
But
yes.
They should. Because then I could make Jeff Bezos unconscious.
You just punch him off.
Wait. Guillotine is a Pokemon move. That would be it. You have to like that's the thing is like the Pokemon's like hard coded so that if you use Guillotine on them it never misses.
There you go.
Just like instant knockout. That would be dope. I would love that.
But in actuality, fighting ground types.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards the mole with boxing gloves idea.
I don't know, but the boxing gloves sound so corny.
Yeah, but like I mean, what else is there? Fighting ground. It's just like it's a mole or like
it's just gonna have to be like
a dusty boy.
Like a drill. Like a
that's not Excadrill.
Yeah, like an actual drill, like not an animal.
Why would an actual drill not be a steel type?
Because I said so.
Okay.
Seems like that's how they make the rulings in there.
That's a fair enough reason, sure. I mean, I could see it not being like it seems fine. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd just be tough. Like they'd be like, we're doing Avatar.
We're just gonna go with the mole that like
it's Earthbender.
Yeah.
Yeah, look a badger mole from like Avatar. Like it'd be like a mole that like has like a martial arts. It'd be like Mian Shao. Yeah. Like if Mian Shao was a mole instead of like a vole or whatever it is.
Like a weasel.
Weasel, yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Just make another.
Yeah, just do new Mian Shao, but this time a mole. The other fighting type one that we have is fighting fairy.
A fighting fairy?
There's never been a fighting fairy type.
Oof. I'd like to see like them come out with the fairy warrior, like that's like a pixie.
A fairy warrior? Like what do you mean fairy warrior?
Like the classic one from storybooks with like a sword and a shield. But they're like these tiny little pixies.
Oh, like a little pixie knight?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. And like you have it be like a warrior, you don't necessarily have to do punches and kicks, but like have it be like because that's the thing is that like if you have it like all decked out in armor and stuff, then it's like maybe it'd be a steel type, but like you give it like a sword and a shield and then just like leather armor or like.
Well, they could even take it and put it on the one we were talking about from before, where we were doing like fire fairy.
Oh yeah.
This one could be fighting fairy. It could be like a different variant of that, where it's like this like also on that line, but if it evolves a specific way with like a specific thing.
Oh, are we talking about the Imp line, but like as a variant?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I could see that.
Or like if it holds a particular thing when it evolves, it turns into a fighting fairy instead.
Because that's the other thing too, is that like fairies also can sometimes be like mythological creatures.
Uh-huh.
So like yeah, what if it's like just like a troll that like does karate?
Yeah, like if you have
which is basically what that would be.
If you have it hold something in particular, it turns into something different. It's like with Ralts where it has its line, but if it's but you could also have it turn into something else.
Like if it's a male Ralts with a Dawn Stone, it'll turn into Galley. And it learns martial arts instead of just like developing its psychic powers.
Yeah, you could like have it carry a sash or something, or like
a headband or something, and then it like.
Or you can make a new item, but like just for example,
learns martial arts,
and instead then it gets the typing of a fighting fairy.
I think that's pretty cool.
And it could keep like the little like fire aesthetic it has, but it's not a fire type.
Sure. Yeah, I think I dig that. I think either one. That's the thing is I feel like the fire fairy and the fighting fairy might not end up in the same generation.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's too much overlap in the design space.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot you could do with it.
I feel like they'd have one come out or they'd have like the main line come out in the next game, and like 3 games later they'd be like, okay, now we're gonna bring in the.
Yeah, I dig that.
The fighting fairy.
Okay, I could see that. I would like to see them closer, but that makes sense. They don't want to overdo the design space. I get it. There's only so many designs you can do, and they've already done like 1,000, so it's hard.
Right.
But I want to see it. Next one is our last poison type combination, and a bit of a hard one to reconcile.
Fighting poison?
Nope. Poison steel.
Poison to steel?
A poison steel type Pokemon.
Ooh, Mercury.
Oh shit.
A Mercury Pokemon.
You're right. Would it just be like a thermometer?
A broken thermometer.
Yeah, and then it when it gets to half health, it just sprays all over you.
Well, I was thinking
to break it.
At least the first evolution could just be like it'd be like a slime from Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it'd be like made out of Quicksilver or something. Yeah, which is literally Mercury. I think that's just like a fancy alchemy, like old world alchemy way to say.
Oh, yeah. So it would just be like a little blob of mercury, and then as it evolves, it'll turn into something else.
Yeah, it'd be like made out of the same crap that Meltan's made out of.
Yeah.
Like just like gooey metal.
Yeah, except it wouldn't be part of the Meltdown. Meltan line whatsoever.
Right, yeah. It would just be like a different liquid metal Pokemon. It maybe it's more like serpent themed as opposed to like Meltan, which is like a big like golem made out of
Potentially, they could do. The thing is, they could do anything with it. It's poison metal because it's made out of a poison metal.
Yeah, it is metal that is toxic to touch
and eat.
So well, definitely to eat. Yeah,
not venomous or
that's
poisonous.
That's a touch on
just
the inside.
Deadly. Yeah. Well, I guess it technically is only poisonous, not venomous, because it seeps into your bloodstream and kills you.
Right. Contact with it causes you to become sick. It doesn't inject venom into you. Right. But still, it's poisonous. That's exactly what we need. It's a poison.
Yeah.
So like some sort of like mercury.
But that's the thing is they could turn that into anything. It doesn't have to be serpentine.
Yeah, as long as it is made out of mercury.
As long as they keep it made out of mercury, then you can make it into anything, which is so cool.
Shit. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm into it. I think that's a great idea. I had not thought about that. And I kind of want to see what they could do with that now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what it could turn into is, like, pretty much unlimited.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that might be something that ends up legendary.
I feel like it could, but also, it depends. Like, if they wanted to do more with it than just let it be, like, a 3-evolution creature, it would definitely be legendary. But, they could also have it just have neat forms.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm into it.
I don't know what those forms would be. But
well, that's the thing. It could be one of those Pokemon that like shifts its form, or like maybe it's evolutionary.
Almost like a Ditto.
Yeah, well, I think they like Ditto like things in general have this kind of like flowing, like either like Ditto's basically just like weird pink Jello, but like like a liquid metal kind of like a slime, like you said, like a Dragon Quest slime. It'd be similar to that.
I'm trying to think of what I'd like it to turn into for its mid and final forms, but it's eluding me.
Big snake.
You seem stuck on the snake thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fixated on it. I see it as being a serpent. It's because of the poison, I think.
I think so. I think that's what you wanted it to be before I.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the idea that I had. Like, the only other idea I had before you mentioned mercury is like a weird, like a toxic waste dump variant.
Like a rusty can in a
No,
dumpster.
I'm thinking like a toxic waste dump variant of Steelix. Like a variant Steelix that like instead of being ground type, it lives in like a garbage pit. And so it just like bites you and it poisons you or something. I see. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a good idea.
I like the mercury one.
I like the mercury one way better. So next one we have 4 left for completely new original typings. Okay. Ground fairy.
A ground fairy?
There hasn't been a ground fairy type Pokemon. What would it be?
See, that's where I feel like I'd like to see them put the troll.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because trolls are like fairies.
Yeah, they're like fae-esque mythological creatures. Things that exist in like Gaelic and Celtic folklore tend to be represented as fairies in the Pokemon universe. So a troll makes sense.
And they're elementals tied with earth.
Yeah, they're like creatures made of stone that like a ground fairy. Like it'd be like something that like is like this gray kind of stony like troll like creature. Lots of like weird hair that looks like moss growing off of it. It like it's really slow and sluggish and it like leans up against bridges. And,
see, I'd like to see them take the first evolution of that and kind of like do a spin on or make fun of like the little toy trolls.
Oh, with like the crazy hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, okay.
And then I'd like to see it just get bigger and slower and like bulkier with time and become like a real troll.
So what, like make it look like a troll dog, like in the sense that like it has like weird crazy hair, in the sense that it's like a naked boy.
In the sense of like I'd like it to be like small and like kind of square and like be like cute and tiny and like have like big like grass hair and be like almost like
like a mossy or almost like a weird like dusty kind of hair to it.
But then I'd like to see it like as it gets older and bigger, it becomes like a real troll.
I could see it. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
That's what I like to see.
You know, and what also might be a good ground fairy type if you want to go with a different mythological approach, like a genie.
Oh, like a genie?
Yeah, like we tend to. I think mostly because of Disney. Like not a lot. There's not a lot of like at least like modern American cultural aesthetic that connects. Like we don't really have the 1001 Arabian Nights as part of our cultural aesthetic,
right?
But like Aladdin is, and so I think a lot of people associate genies with the desert. So that could be an angle because of Agrabah. So I think that could be like an angle they maybe go with if that's the kind of popularity they want to go for. But I like your idea better.
I associate genies with like an air element. I
mean, I do too. But I that's the only like I feel like people would be like, oh, it's like an Aladdin reference if they went for like a I mean I don't know I don't love the idea, but I think that's something they could do.
Yeah.
But I like that one better. Next one is Bug Dragon. We're getting into the bug types. Bug Dragon. So first of all, let me preface this.
Yeah.
Bug Dragon should have been Flygon.
Probably.
But we were robbed because they decided not to make Flygon a Bug Dragon type.
See, I'd like to see them do the Dragonfly.
Could have been Yanma.
Right, but the thing is I'd like them to make it like a dragonfly, but like the tiny little body part is an actual like dragon.
Oh, cute. Okay.
Like a dragonfly.
Yeah, like literally a dragonfly. Like it is literally like a dragon with like little like dragonfly wings.
Yeah.
And like maybe it's got like little bug eyes, but it's got like a draconic face, like pointed like spiked snout, like fangs, like a little strong jaw.
Like a tiny dragon with bug features and like the dragonfly wings.
I dig that. Or oh my god, like kind of like a fairy dragon in D&D. That'd be dope. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's the thing is that, like we missed out on the opportunity for either like Yanmega or Flygon to be bug dragons, even though those two make the most sense. So do something that's kind of like a hybrid, like a draconic looking insectoid creature that has like the dragonfly elements to it while being kind of like a hybrid of the two.
Yeah.
And also like not even to mention like bug dragon would be like such a sick typing because so many of the things that bugs are weak to, dragons like meh, whatever.
Right.
Like I think that's really good, and it's also like a dragon that's not double weak to ice like most dragon combinations are. So I feel like it'd be a really good Pokemon.
I think it'd be fun.
That should be like the pseudo legendary, like it evolves. It's like the Dragonite of the game, and then it evolves into like this big, massive, like insectoid dragon creature. It looks like what would be like, from Digimon, the thing that Tentomon evolved into, the big like blue like stag beetle or like
yeah.
The big stag beetle, like but that with like dragon wings would be sick. Like a big draconic stag beetle would be dope.
I think I prefer the roles reversed, but
where it's a dragon with bug features as opposed to a bug with dragon features.
Yeah, but I could be fine with either.
I was thinking like if it like kind of swapped the design styles as it evolved.
Yeah.
And turned into some big. Like another thing is like the dragon, like the pseudo legendary dragons usually start out really cute, and then they turn into like these big hulking monsters. Examples of like Garchomp and Salamence and Hydreigon and things like that.
Yeah.
Hydreigon.
Just slap some fairy wings on there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be sick. I would like that a lot. Well, it's okay. You missed your chance, Mega Flygon.
Yeah, whatever.
Now we're here. Last bug type combination. Bug and dark.
A dark bug?
We've never had a dark bug.
That's like the perfect opportunity to use like a dragonfly or like a Luna moth.
See, I like Luna moth better. I think that's a cool idea. That's kind of where I was leaning too. It'd be something like it'd have to be like a nocturnal insect, a bug that only comes out at night. It could be like are cicadas night or
their day?
Their day. Okay, so not cicada. Yeah, Luna moth would be perfect.
Cicadas are those things that make that weird buzzing noise when it gets too hot.
Yeah, they're the ones that are always screaming about wanting to make a million babies with them.
Yeah.
From being Puppy Cat.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Asakeda!
Oh, Asakeda.
Yeah, they're daytime creatures.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It was out in the day, literally, in that episode. Okay, anyway, tangent aside. Yeah, a Luna Moth would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be, like, it wouldn't be... It had, like, a very dark aesthetic. I feel like it would be, like, kind of like a midnight black and kind of, like, gray
like a
swirl.
goth Dustox, but way cooler.
Yeah, like a goth... Actually, you know what? I was kind of thinking maybe a variant of Dustox. Maybe like a Galarian Dustox, but not Galar region. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I feel like it'd have to be a third evolution of the
Of Wurmple?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, they could always do
technically like a fourth.
Well, why a fourth?
Well, because it goes from Wurmple to Cascoon to Dustox.
Yeah, because it can either be... Well, that's the thing. I think it would be like Silcoon and Cascoon, and then you do like a third one.
Oh. But then it'd turn into two different moths.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you mean like it would have to be a fourth evolution because there'd have to be a version of Beautifly, too.
Well, no, I was saying it should be a fourth evolution because it would have to be Wurmple, and then Cascoon, and then Dustox. And I'm saying Dustox could turn into this thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's the thing is I don't think they'd ever do that. I think they like pretty much straight up
I think
said
this thing should be on its
own.
own.
Yeah, I think it'd be its own Pokemon.
Because I also don't like the design for Cascoon for a Luna Moth. Like, I feel like this thing should be like dark and elegant and like...
It'd be like kind of like a midnight butterfly kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Where it's like this big, like... I feel like it'd be like a pretty massive creature. Oh, you know what? It would be more like Frostmoth. Like the Ice Moth.
I suppose.
Yeah, closer to that than Dustox.
Yeah, closer to that.
But still, like, probably bigger, a bit more of like a... I can imagine like a creature with like this really like cutesy insectoid face and like a big fluffy like collar and like these long wings that extend out in both directions, and it has like kind of like soars over. I imagine it as being like a fancy version of like Volcarona, where it's like one of those double, like there'd be like a larval form and then it turns into this big massive moth bug.
See, I'd like to see this be the legendary for one of the games.
Oh, like a giant Luna Moth? Yeah, that would actually be really sick. Yeah, and because it could be like midnight and daytime theme. Like that would be like a midnight creature, and then it'd be like a bright sun Pokemon that's like that maybe is a fire fairy type, and then we have fire fairy and bug dark. That works perfectly because then the fire fairy would be good against the bug dark. They'd have like a pair. That'd be cool. Yeah, I would dig it. I'd be super into that. Okay, last but not least of the completely unused types. Then we can speed run through the other ones. Rock and Ghost.
A rock ghost?
There has not been a rock ghost type Pokemon. That is the only other one that there's been absolutely zero of.
The only rock ghost that came to my mind when you said it was like a tombstone.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that like I always thought it was a little bit weird. I like it better, but I thought it was a little bit weird that like Golurk and Golurk, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, was ground as opposed to rock because it's literally made out of stone.
Yeah.
But like I don't think they could necessarily like get away with doing the same thing.
Right.
Like you can't just make like this is a possessed stone creature. It's a rock ghost, and it's like it's Golurk. It's just Golurk. You just made Golurk again.
Yeah.
So it would have to be something a little bit weirder. I thought that Runerigus, the new Yamask evolution, the like spooky rune tablets they made in Gen Ed would also have been a really good rock ghost type, but they also made that one ground.
Also, what about that one Pokemon that's made out of like the Million Souls or something like that?
Spiritomb. It's Ghost Dark. I don't know. I don't know why he's not rock.
Because he's like a rock.
He's literally a ghost that comes out of a rock. Yeah. But he's Ghost Dark.
Oh.
He's Ghost Dark because they wanted to make another Ghost Dark Pokemon because at the time, before Fairy existed, Ghost and Dark canceled each other's weaknesses out. So a Ghost Dark Pokemon had no weaknesses.
Oh.
So they just wanted to make it this really like interesting, fascinating Pokemon they could put on the Champions team because Cynthia had one. That like it didn't have a weakness, so you had to just deal with it by using strong attacks and not like type advantage.
And yet they won't make that other one typing you were talking about where it still has the dark weakness, but it's...
What, normal ghost?
But apparently that'll blow everyone out of the water,
Well,
even though
yeah,
it still has
because
a
I was
weakness.
thinking because it would be Mimikyu, and Mimikyu's already a pretty strong Pokemon.
Whatever.
But like, yeah, no, I think I think I would like to see them kind of like either revisit one of the previously mentioned Pokemon, either Yamask already did, so like Golurk or something, but like as a variant form and make it a rock. But I think a rock ghost variant of Spiritomb would be really cool. Something where like the keystone that it's connected to has a bigger part of its lore,
right?
As opposed to just being like, oh, you have to just talk to people, and then it like comes out of the rock,
right?
Have like the stone be a bigger part of the essence of what it is,
right?
And then make it like a variant form of Spiritomb, where instead of being like a malevolent spirit, it's just like a ghost that possesses a rock, and it's like a nicer, friendlier, maybe like softer featured Spiritomb. That's more of just like a that'd be like a stone genie or something. It'd be like a earth spirit.
Potentially. Are there any like spirits that are in particular like bound to like stones and like can't leave them or something?
Bound to stones? Not that I know of off the top of my head. I suppose I could go check. Spirits bound to rocks.
Because there's like from the King Arthur story, there's like the one like nymph that can't leave the lake, or they're like
Oh yeah.
like spirits that can't leave a stone.
There are stones that protect against spirits. There are stones that it is said it's all stones that ward against spirits and ward against the dead. There are stones that are highly prized for summoning spirits in labradorite. Beautiful and highly prized stone known for aiding in manifestation, astral travel, dream work, and protection. The Inuit people believe that labradorite was formed when the Northern Lights got trapped in ice. Blah blah blah. It looks like there are a number of different stones that are useful in like the conjuring and summoning of different spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Labradorite, smoky quartz, moldavite, which is a crystal alloy that comes from a meteorite.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend working with that.
Oh yeah, well you know better than I do. It's like a really powerful, right?
It's a very high frequency stone.
Yeah. Selenite.
It'd be neat to see like them use that where they make like a creature that like can't leave their stone behind or something. Almost like a not exactly, but like how penguins pick out a stone when they're like born and then they keep that stone forever.
Oh yeah.
It's their favorite rock.
That's my favorite rock.
Or maybe I'm thinking of otters. No, otters just have like the tummy stones they crack.
Yeah, they just love to play with those, yeah.
But it'd be fun to like see like a race of like ghost creatures that like have rocks that they like pick out and then like can't leave them behind.
Like attached to like a gemstone spirit.
Yeah.
That it's like but that's the other thing too, is that like Sableye is already literally a ghost with gemstone eyes.
Yeah.
So it's like there are rock ghost. It feels like to me there were a lot of Pokemon that exist that all could have and should have been rock ghost types that they just didn't make rock ghost types for some reason. Literally, both of them are ghost dark. Sableye is ghost dark, and literally, like its Mega Sableye has a giant gemstone that it hides behind, and it's attached to the gemstone. And then Spiritomb is literally a ghost that comes out of a rock, and both of them are ghost dark.
I like your idea where they should just make a light version of Spiritomb.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be a nice way to do it. Yeah. Okay, so that's all of those. Do you wanna speed run through the ones that are only legendary, like they already exist?
I don't know. The ones that already exist?
Yeah, like for example, like I'll do the first one. Fire water. There are no regular Pokemon that are fire water type, except for Volcanion, the legendary Pokemon from Generation fucking 6, I think.
I mean, we could, but also they already exist. Just because they're legendary doesn't mean they don't exist.
Yeah, because that's the only thing is that like I was mostly thinking, like, for some of these, it's like, can you think of an idea for a Pokemon that isn't just like a mythological creature that would be like fire, water, or like
a steam creature?
Yeah, exactly, like a Steven, or like fighting ghost. It's only Marshadow is a fighting ghost type, but like maybe there'd be like a regular one that has like an evolutionary path. But like also like just kind of looking through some of them, the legendaries do kind of cover them pretty well, and even with like one of them is Psychic Dragon, which was Latios and Latias. So like they already have a kind of theme for it, but it's like they're legendaries.
Right.
You know what? Those ones, I don't think there's a lot of good ideas. We can skip over those. There are two more that I would like to finish up on.
Okay.
And these ones, because they may actually, depending on how Pokemon decides to design things in the future, they may actually not be in the game anymore. And these last two types are types that are actually only one, because one of them is also Psychic Dragon, which is used by Latios and Latias. So there's one last one. Types that are only used by Mega Evolutions.
Okay.
Psychic Dragon is one of them because Mega Latios and Mega Latias. Like with Mega Latios, Latios, and Latias, we literally have 4 Psychic Dragon types. And then like also what's it called, the Psychic Dragon type? Friggin' Necrozma or whatever.
Probably.
When it fuses like the big light one. I don't know. I didn't play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so I don't know.
I didn't either.
Yeah. But the only one that does only exist as a Mega Evolution that maybe there's a better idea for, and that is Dragon Fairy, which currently only exists in the game as Mega Altaria.
Oh, Dragon and Fairy?
Yes, but Mega Altaria is currently no longer in the game because there's no Mega Evolutions. So can we think of a different or more interesting Dragon and Fairy type Pokemon that they could add into a future game? And we'll end it on that. I think that's a good way to do it.
A Dragon Fairy.
Yeah, like what would like and that's the thing, is that like fairies are more like mythological creatures or like fae creatures, and dragons are dragons. There's a lot of different ways to interpret dragons. There's Asian style dragons, there's European dragons, there's like South American dragons. There's all different kinds of dragons. But like when you combine that with the concept of like a mythological or fae creature, what would you get?
Well, the thing is my mind just goes right back to where we had, like, the dragon fly, but just, like, make it, like, fairy. But also, like, I feel like I would love to see them make a cute dragon.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, yeah. Like, what if it was something that's just like, it's just a dragon, but, like, super, like, cutesy and, like...
Like, tiny and, like, pink or purple and, like, really round and, like... small.
Yeah.
Like, cause
like a Dragon Tails dragon.
Kind of, but not exactly.
That's not like just Dragonite.
Like make it Gibble, but keep it Gibble and like make it longer.
Yeah, like, just long, like Gibble, long Gibble, and long Gibble with wings are the 3 evolutionary forms. Where it's just like,
because when they have dragons, they always make them huge. They always make them look mean.
Yeah, huge, menacing, and scary along the evolutionary.
I feel like I'd like to see a really small, cute dragon.
It just stays that way?
That stays small and cute, or becomes, like, larger as it evolves, but, like, make it elegant.
Yeah, like, or like a big, like a heart dragon. Like a big, like, heart-themed dragon where it's got, like, these, like, cutesy little, like, trails of, like, hearts or, like, flower petals or stuff coming off of it. What if they even did like a Japanese style dragon and had like sakura petals coming off of it or something?
Yeah,
because like fairies also used for things that are like nature element, but not necessarily grass or like plants. Like Florges is literally a flower. It's like a little fairy that lives on flowers.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of. Is like almost
like a flower dragon or something.
I want them to give it the Ralts treatment.
Oh sure, okay. Like what do you mean? In what way?
Where the small one is very tiny and cute. Like he's a little boy. You want to protect it.
That's
like,
a tiny baby.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
And the middle one's like, oh, okay, like, you look like you could, like, hit someone and they might not like it.
Yeah. You seem like you're small and cute, but also you could rough around if you need to.
And then, like, the final form is, like flowing and like,
elegant.
Pretty and
yeah.
Like... I want them to do that with it, but I also don't, but with the not having weebs want to fuck it thing.
We're sorry, Gardevoir. You did nothing to deserve that.
Except for being pretty.
Except for being pretty, right? That's true. Well, I guess there's not a lot you can do about that. Yeah, I think that'd be a good one. There's a number of different dragon designs, but just like in general, like just a dragon that remains cute and never has any of those strange menacing elements to it. Kind of like Dragonite, but not quite looking like a children's television show character.
That's the Dragon Tales dragon.
Yeah, Dragonite.
I don't want them to make it another Dragon Tales dragon either. Right. Like I want them
because the thing is like Dratini, and then it just kind of is longer and elegant, and then it turns into like a big doofy dum dum.
Yeah.
Which I like. I love Dragonite, but it's a big doofus.
See, I like them to almost do it like Dratini.
But then just stay Dratini.
But like make
like
it
shiny Dratini that's pink.
Yeah, I want them to do it like Dratini, Dragonite, Dragonair.
Oh sure, okay.
But like not with the physical differences, just like the feels. Like I want it to be like small and cute.
Yeah.
And then like kind of doofy but still cute. And then like
elegant,
beautiful
and flowing. Yeah. That'd be cool. There's actually, there's a reference that you might get it, but the last thing, like as a general idea for something I might want to do, this isn't quite so much elegant as it is like it's not monstrous, but it's like a little bit like fluffy and cutesy. It's a Digimon. Listeners, feel free to go search Magnadramon, Magnadramon. Something like that. It's a different aesthetic than what we're looking to, but that's something I can also be interested in. It's basically like a big purple, or not, it's like pinkish purple, like Kirin kind of Japanese mythological creature. That'd be something cool, but I think I like your idea better generally.
That thing's face is gonna give me nightmares.
I mean, I haven't looked at a picture of it besides like old card art in like 10 years, so I don't know if it looks creepier than I remember.
I don't mind this person's art of it. Like I could do with that.
Yeah, kind of like that. That's kind of the feel.
But that's a particular art.
Big pink multi-winged angelic dragon thing. It's like furry dragon.
Who did this? I want to see if I can find who actually did this.
Oh, so we can tell them like, hey, by the way,
this is the art you should be looking at.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually tell me because most of the art looks like this.
Yeah, that's like the official art from Digimon Adventures.
Yeah, and its face terrifies me.
Yeah, because I think that thing is like one of the Digivolved forms of like Gatomon or whatever.
Look up Magnadramon and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photos or so over. The one that doesn't look like it just watched its parents fucking.
Oh god. Which one is that? I have to say.
All of them, except for the one I showed you first.
Okay, yeah. So
it looks horrified.
All of our viewers will notice it immediately. But yeah, so that's really it in terms of unused types for Pokemon. In the comments below, if you guys can think of some cool ideas for any of the types we've already seen, or if you just have some interesting ideas for Pokemon designs that you want to talk about and you think would be interesting. I mean, I always love talking about fun new designs.
You have better types that are better like designs for types that you think would fit that we didn't come up with?
Yeah, or like if you like know a type combination, you're like, oh, there's only like one of this Pokemon, and wouldn't it be cool if we had something else? Let us know. Especially with the 25th anniversary of Pokemon being this year, like we're kind of in the Pokemon mood, and we'd be happy to have a conversation about it. So yeah, have you finalized, before we end this episode of our little Pokemon excursion, do you have the next topic you're going to talk about finalized? Are you still thinking about, do we want to tease it yet? Or
I'm either going to come back with something that I haven't finalized, or I'm going to come back with another interview.
Oh, okay.
It might be too soon for another interview, but it really depends on how I feel coming up on our next recording session.
Well, because I know you were in between a couple of ideas for our next episode. So not as much of a teaser this time because we're still working through what we exactly want to do next. But we promise you that the next episode that you will hear of us after this one will be our classic content. So don't be dismayed. We're not going off the rails.
Just picking.
Yeah, we're just deciding from our list of things we have in the back pocket. Okay? Well, thank you so much, as always, for listening. We appreciate you hanging out and talking Pokemon with us. Stay tuned for next week. We have some more updates coming soon in the future, I do want to say, about some more, like, improvements to some of my existing series that we're going to be working through. I've begun the early processes of some of the D&D campaign we want to eventually be doing on here. So I will have more updates for you in the not so distant future about what that's going to entail and what that's going to look like on our channel. So stay tuned for more content, more of our same good old good stuff, I guess. Couldn't have been a better transition.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Thank you all for listening. As always, we love you very much.
Thanks, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.